Sonic! 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 No pain, no despair. You have brought me to this place. You demon of blue strikes in the night and steals your soul. You torment me to this day. Oh, what pain! But my agony, my despair. How? You ask me, how has it come to this? I quiver to think. But yes, I see it now. Many months ago, it began with the mysterious game in a box. Sonic Adventure 2. Okay. This game showed up mysteriously in a box on my porch. You're never supposed to trust mysterious box games. That's like a 101 here. What could possibly go wrong? Oof, a Sonic game. Honestly, I don't know anything about Sonic. I've never really played any of his games before, so I don't know what I'm really getting into. Especially right now, what with Mania being good and then Forces being again. The fate of Sonic has always been murky at best, with no one really agreeing on when Sonic started to suck, which games suck, which games are good, and what have you. It's really a mess. Okay, well there's one everyone can agree on. Maybe jumping back to the older days would give us a less clouded perspective. But even then, people can't seem to agree on this game either. Some citing it as one of the best games ever made, and others calling it as bad as 06. I honestly don't know what to expect here. But when it comes to games, I'm not one to turn down a new experience. So let's take a look at Sonic Adventure 2. Battle. This is Adventure 2 Battle. I just mentioned that because I don't want people to complain to me for getting the version wrong, but for my 5-minute research online, there's no significant difference between the two, so let's go. From the get-go, it looks like the main story mode is split into two parts, Hero and Dark. We're going to go in order and play the Hero mode first. The first cutscene establishes that Sonic is a military prisoner who escapes out of a moving airplane. What? Okay, whatever. I'm sure it'll get explained later. I'm more interested in actually playing the game, and Sonic is weird. Well, this is a good sign. Right off the bat, the first gameplay we experience is all spastic and wonky. Sonic feels really hard to control and he just kind of flies around the screen. Now hold on. yeah, it's weird, but I'm not necessarily gonna go ahead and say it's bad just yet. During these long running segments, it's honestly fun. It's not really hard to dodge obstacles, and going fast feels exhilarating. But when you get to these more open movement environments, the wonky controls take a bigger effect. Also, Omocho won't shut up! Already I'm kinda mixed. Parts of this level are fun. You get to run at sonic speeds and it's enjoyably silly, but the other parts are not that, and bad. So it seems the namesake of the frickin' game doesn't bring a lot to the table, but we'll keep going anyway and see what else this game has to offer. Suddenly, out of nowhere, Shadow appears and attacks Sonic... what?
It all starts with this. A jewel containing the ultimate power.
That's the Chaos Emerald! Now I know what's going on!
Well, I don't! That doesn't make any sense! Wait... yeah, this doesn't make any sense! Sonic is apparently mistaken for Shadow, even though... how? He's blue. Shadow is literally not even at all the same. Confusing plot aside, we do have to get back to the game. As we transition into Knuckles mode, we get yet another amazingly beautiful cutscene. Okay, pause for a sec. If I actually go through and talk about every weird out-of-place dumb thing in every cutscene, we'll be here forever. So, how about I just link to a montage of funny parts in the description and we'll just move on, okay? Okay. Now we can finally move on to the next mode. For those of you who don't know, this game is broken into 3 gameplay modes based on character. The first is Sonic, and the second is Knuckles here. And where to begin with this boy? I don't really know what to say about this. It's really boring. Knuckles controls passably. It's a bit frustrating, but the environment has enough room to move around that it's not that big of a deal. Basically, this level's a treasure hunt. You have to find 3 Master Emerald pieces hidden randomly all over the map. And this is where I get confused. A lot of Sonic games are criticized for their lack of high-speed gameplay, and this game's not high-speed at all, but you never hear that when people are talking about it. This is literally the opposite of high-speed gameplay. It's also the opposite of fun, but whatever, that's not the point I'm trying to make. Sonic is known for going fast and having games that deliver in speedy platforming. So who thought putting a stop what you're doing and slowly hunt for treasure portion of the game was a good idea? Honestly, there's not much to say about this. It's just boring. I don't even have anything to joke about here. No, wait, I guess Knuckles raps are a joke in and of themselves.
You know me, the fighting freak Knuckles, and we're at Pumpkin Hill. You ready? I ain't gonna let it get to me. I'm just gonna creep down in Pumpkin Hill. I got to find my little speed. I know that it's here. I can sense it in my feet. The great emerald's power allows me to feel. I can't see a thing, but it's around somewhere. I'm gonna hold my head, cause I have no fear. This probably seems crazy, a graveyard theory. Our ghosts try to approach me and got leery.
Yeah, that's all I got. Let's keep going. Now we can move on to the third and final character in hero mode, Tails. Tails is boring. He has a mech and his gameplay basically just consists of walking forward and spamming the shoot button. That's it. That's all there is. Good day! Go, get out of here! There's nothing left! There's nothing left! Get out of here! Now, putting aside the question of whether or not a gun mechanic should even be in a Sonic game, I think Shadow the Hedgehog answers that question quite well. This mode could have been good. It just isn't. All you have to do is spam the trigger. There's no real platforming, no actual threat, and you don't even have to aim the gun because Tails just 360s around whenever an enemy is in the general direction. The only trace of substance here is that you get more points by trying to lock onto as many enemies as possible before firing. This could add strategy, but since there's no real incentive for getting more points, the best way to complete the level is just spamming the trigger. And that really triggers me! I'm sorry, that was awful. Okay, that's all the gameplay modes, and honestly, none of them were that amazing. Sure, they weren't awful, but there really wasn't anything super great there either. I have to admit, I did enjoy parts of it, but I don't know if it's going to continue to hold up, and I don't think I'm going to keep playing. No point in going through another backyard baseball situation, am I right? Huh? What?
Whoever dares to play this game will walk and die within their shame. To leave here and return to you, you will complete Adventure 2. If you fail the task, then this, you will dive into the abyss. No one will find you, you will see a final life of misery. Whoever dares to
Who's responsible for this?
walk and die within their shame.
Show yourself!
And return to you, you will complete Adventure 2. If you fail the
Oh.
task, then this, you will dive into the abyss.
Oh,
No one
gosh,
will find you, you will see a
I guess I have to
misery. Whoever dares to play this game will walk
beat
and
the
die.
game.
Yeah, jeez, took you long enough. It's not like I've been chanting that at you for the past 30 seconds.
Shut up. I was trying to be dramatic. As we progress through the rest of the game, everything gets exponentially worse. Literally. No, really, I actually calculated it. If you plot it on a graph, this is what it looks like. The biggest overarching issue is that all the problems in the earlier segments of the game just get worse. For one, the designers seem to be having a competition for who could create the most frustrating level gimmick, and the only person who won was, well, not me, because I have to play through it! Knuckles, the most frustrating of the three already, was given a frickin' water level in 2001? Water levels wouldn't be perfected in games until at least, well, never, but it's especially bad in the Dreamcast GameCube era. Then, Knuckles and Tails both have low gravity levels, and Sonic has an entire gravity manipulation stage. Ah! All of the controls are still just as bad, and as the difficulty ramps up in later levels, the finicky gameplay goes from charming / mildly annoying to super frustrating, faster than, well, a good Sonic game. Tails gets the best of everything. His levels don't honestly get that much worse, but they weren't that great to begin with, so I don't know. Knuckles' levels overall are the worst. They each get more expansive, and trying to find all the gems is literally nauseating. Again, not figuratively. I actually felt like I was going to throw up sometimes trying to play them. Especially when some of these levels take 30 minutes to an hour to complete. Sonic's level quality probably changes the most, from actually kind of fun to absolute horse crap. Once you get away from the easy, fast-paced levels into the levels that actually involve having to try, the bad controls finally hang themselves on you, and you have to deal with the frustration of precision platforming, except it feels like your controller has Parkinson's. The weirdest thing about this part of the game is completely randomly, out of the blue, there's a car chase level. I honestly have no idea why. There's literally no other level like it. I guess someone at Sega really wanted a pole position simulator in their frickin' Sonic game, and somehow it got approved. Still boring, though. The last awful part of Hero Mode is the various dumpster fire sprinkled throughout the game that Sega likes to call boss fights. Every time you have an encounter, everything is so hard to figure out. Hitboxes are awful, what you have to do is never clear or even intuitive, and most of all, the AI is really screwed up. Actually, I don't even have any words for this. I feel like this actual gameplay clip speaks volumes about this game as a whole right here.
There's no time to play games. You won't even get the chance.
And there you have it. Half of the game is done. Here we go.
Honestly, dark mode won't take that long to talk about, because all we have to do is just this. There's literally no difference. Shadow is Sonic, Rouge is Knuckles, and Eggman is Tails. They even copied it down to the boss fights. Heck, down to the freaking random car chase. I can't even tell if these levels are different half the time. They look exactly the same. The one good thing is that the plot finally makes a little sense. At least as much sense as a story about a cloned Super Bean who's also a hedgehog. What? As much sense as that makes, I guess. The problem is that I got the story in two completely separate halves that it's kind of hard to follow.
It's like if you had flipped, but you read through the entire girl's part before even starting the guy's part, or like the movie version. Did anyone else read flipped? No, just me. Okay.
And here we have the end of the game.
And, what?
Apparently we have to fight the prototype of the ultimate life form, which, how do you get from that? Yeah, whatever. And Sonic and Shadow team up to animate copyright infringement him to death. But wait, also if this guy's the prototype and Shadow's the final, shouldn't Shadow, like, completely destroy him on his... never mind. Then Shadow sacrifices himself because he remembered something this girl said once.
Honestly, I still don't understand the plot of this game.
And all's well that ends well. Edgy desktop background.
And that was Sonic Adventure 2. Honestly, I cannot believe what I just played through. It wasn't very good. But now I'm completely done and I never have to touch this game again.
You're not done.
Huh?
Remember the poem? Whoever dares to play this hero.
No, yeah, I remember.
Well, I said complete the game. Like formally, so, yeah. Get on that.
What? Complete? No. Challenges. Boss fights. S ranks challenge. No. I hate you! Your presentation sucks! It was awful! How could there be fans of you when all you've done is brought me hours of suffering and torture? I hope you die in the depths of video game hell! You vile piece of flaming trash! That was my torture. What have I done? Sweet Jesus, what have I done? Let this game torture me so?
What have I become? Have I fallen so far, succumbed to all the hate? Is there nothing inside me that can still see what's great? I've been doing this show for over 3 years. There was no hope inside me, just my hatred and my fears. Is there another way to go? I missed my lesson, posted one video. All I ever do is throw hate and complain. I didn't know how to see that it was in vain. I just wanted to have fun with games. Didn't know I'd end up in this pain. Yet why did I allow this game to hold dominion over me? I knew it wasn't worth my time. I gave it a chance. I wanted something. Was it as awful as I thought? Can such things be? For I had come to hate it all. The way it boiled hate in me. I take an eye for an eye. I've turned my heart into stone. This is all I have lived for. This is all I have known. In the next script I'll just come back to the place I've descended. I can't seem to find any solace. I broke my love for games inside my heart. Is there still hope here in my soul? How can I know? Can I really change my life? Is there another way to go? I've been reaching, but I fell. And these games always close in. And I stare into the void, to my hatred deep within. I'll escape now from that world, from the world of my own mind. This is all ending right now. Another person must begin.
Sonic Adventure 2 sucks. It's a bad game. There's a little bit of fun to be had here, but the stuff you have to go through to get to it is not worth it. But why does that matter? It's a bad game, yes, but even the worst game in the world can't, or at least shouldn't, blind us from all the good we've experienced in games. Maybe I could work on that a bit. After all, some people love this game. Good for them. Boss fight. Let's raise challenge.